Talking with Robert Chapman, the International Forecaster. For information, go up to the website, theinternationalforecaster.com, theinternationalforecaster.com. Get it delivered by email. You don't want to wait because this information is just absolutely hot. Or you can call, and he does have a service where twice a month you can have it mailed to you, 877-479-8178. Now, we're going to give that number out a couple more times. 877-479-8178. He'll give you a free issue, and then I'll tell you, by jingles, you're going to be hooked because this is the truth. This is what's going on. Are we going to see manufacturing coming back to the United States, especially if tariffs go on, Mr. Chapman?
I think what's going to happen if tariffs are put on is, number one, companies will return to the United States. Number two, we can't allow Congress to allow these transnational conglomerates to bring their money back without paying full taxation. The last time they did it 4 years ago, it was 5.25% instead of 35%. And they're going to have to pay the full boat if they want to bring it home. If they don't want to bring it home, that's fine. What we'll do is put very high tariffs on all their goods and services. I mean, you've got people like IBM who expect next year to be totally out of the United States. Well, it's okay if that's what they want to do, but every time a program comes in, there'll be 100 or 200% tariff on it. I think maybe they might get the message. And that's what we're going to have to do to these companies because they don't care one bit about the United States or anything else. All they care about is profit, and they also care about advancing their message of world government.
Now, you've got two other issues that I wanted to address. One is that the state tax collections are off the most in 50 years. They've had a 16.6% plunge, the biggest since 1963. When the state tax collections are off that bad, does that not portend bad news for municipal bonds and things like this?
Well, yes, it does on the longer term, but we've just seen a major rally in municipal bonds, which is insanity. I mean, I can't believe it. The stimulus package of that money, now half of it's been spent, which is about $450 billion. About $300 billion of that approximately went to the states and the counties and the cities as grants to offset the lack of income revenue coming in to support those entities. And yes, some of them have cut back, but most of them haven't. They think everything's going to get better and it's going to be happily ever after. And that's why I said last January that toward the end of the year and early next year, there's going to be a move for another stimulus package. Now, Congress is talking about $200 billion. I said it would be $2 trillion. $200 billion isn't going to do anything. It's not enough money in the structure that we have today. And so it's going to have to be a lot more. And I notice in Washington now they're getting away from calling these subsidies stimulus packages or part of the next package or part of the last package. They're not calling it anything. They try to get away from it so they can sneak the money out to where it's needed, or at least where they think it's needed. Of course, it's all politically oriented. And
it's all going to the banks and Wall Street. Now, one of the other things that you talk about that we need to discuss is the delinquent commercial mortgages. 7-fold jump last month, is that right?
That's correct. And it's going to get worse. You've got the government has been making subprime loans for a year. 1 year from now, they come up for reset. They even admit that they're going to lose 20% of them to foreclosure. How about 60%? The Alta loans got about a year to go. They're losing about 60% of them. They have the option arms, which are the pick-and-pay loans. They have been coming due for a year. That's going to get progressively worse over the next 4 years. And, you know, these people got loans, say, on $1 million home, good credit, good job, and they were paying $1,000 or $2,000 a month on the contract that they had, which is usually 5 years. When the 5 years are up, they mark the house to the market, which is probably now worth about $650,000. And they tell them, look, your house is worth $650,000 now, and your monthly payment's $8,000 a month. And they're going to say, forget it, and walk away.
Sure.
And right now, 52% of the foreclosures are in homes that are owned by people with excellent credit who are making between $100,000 and $500,000 or more a year. These people have lost their jobs. So they've got all of this working against them.
So you're saying that the housing and the whole situation, we aren't even to the middle of it yet, are we?
No, we're about 40% into it. The other 40% will occur between now and 2013. And I expect that the bottom will be bumped along for 5 to 10, maybe as long as 20 years. But at least be 5 to 10 years before you see any appreciation at all.
I've got to tell you how much I appreciate having you on. You've saved me and our listeners and the people who subscribe more than you would know. God bless you for what you've done. More when we get back with Robert Chapman. The Senate Finance Committee members, their health reform bill, it weighs in at 1,502 pages. 1,502 pages. Who in their right mind? Well, nobody in their right mind, obviously, would know what's in there. Medicare for everyone, use the same system, expanded for the rest of the population, let people have a choice. I think that's what Keith Olbermann and a lot of people have talked about is, in my opinion, an excellent solution. But what we're looking at is everything broke anyway. You're giving it another couple of years before it really collapses. They're going to be extending this out another couple of years. Can you see it going much beyond that and limping along, or are we into, I'm thinking other people are saying that we're into a down Japanizing of our economy for the next future 10, 20 years, and you're saying, no, I don't think it can hold together that long. Am I correct in what I'm getting from you, Mr. Chapman?
No, it can't. And Japan, between 92 and presently, have done the same thing that the U.S. expects it's going to be able to do, and it's not going to work. It's the same program that was used during the 1930s, and I cover it in the next issue. But what's going to happen, and they know this, and they're planning for it, and that's why they're talking about a new international trading unit. And when they introduce that, finally, a year and a half and two from now, it'll be because the United States government has decided that they're going to devalue officially their currency. And my guess it'll be 3 old ones for 1 new one. And I think at the same time, there will be a large meeting like the Smithsonian in the early 70s, the agreement they had at the gosh, I said the word a million times. Well, anyway, it's a hotel in France, in Paris. Sometimes you get blind spots. And the other one was the Louvre in 1987. And what happened was that they revalued and devalued all currencies. They're going to do it again. And they're going to do away with 2/3 of the debt country to country. And that should happen at the same time as the International Monetary Unit is put into place. And so that's what we got in our future. Depression is not going to go away. It's going to get worse after that. And they'll say that we're doing everything that we can to try to make things work, and they're not working. And we're going to get a deflationary depression.
A deflationary depression. Now, to subscribe to the International Forecaster, please do yourself a favor. Give yourself a Christmas present. Subscribe to the International Forecaster, or have somebody you love subscribe for them. 877-479-8178. 877-479-8178, or go to theinternationalforecaster.com. Theinternationalforecaster.com. Gold is at $1,060. Is it too late to buy it? Yes or no, Mr. Chapman?
It is a great time to buy it. We're beginning phase 2 of 2 or 3 or 4 phases. This is going to go a long way, and people are going to be able to preserve their wealth by having gold and silver.
Preserve your wealth with gold and silver. Don't worry about making money. Preserve your wealth at this point. Thank you, Mr. Chapman, for all you've done. God bless you.